am making this video and I am actually going public with this for the first time, like everywhere out there. As everybody knows, we are in April, and April there are a few awarenesses that I am really passionate about, especially one of them, which is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So this is what this little teal ribbon is for. It's basically the color, just making awareness, having people ask me what it is, just like, again, what it is. I'm making awareness. So this video is basically for me to let everybody know that no one's alone, and this is just how I was able to cope with things and how I am dealing with things now in my life. And I would just like to share it with everybody, because now for me, I'm able to be strong enough to even do this now. And it was very hard for me, and it took me this long to do it. So bear with me, and I hope you stay with me through the whole entire video. Basically, when I was a teenager, I was 13 years old, and I was sexually assaulted by a friend of mine. We were close friends, and it happened on Halloween night, and a whole bunch of us went trick-or-treating, just having fun. And of course, we went back to someone's house and we started drinking. And yes, I know I was underage, so, you know, I was drunk. I had way too many drinks. There's a whole bunch of us, and we were all just having fun, hanging out, and the unthinkable happened that I thought would never happen to me. I don't really remember much, but I do remember the one, I just remember some points that I do remember about it. Everybody was in one room, and we were all hanging out, and basically I was left with my friend, and that's when everything happened. It was a little hard for me that night, because a lot of the stuff that was said to me was just unbelievable. I was in shock. I was hurt. And all I can remember him telling me is, no one's going to believe you if you tell anybody. No one. And I didn't know what to do. Like I said, I froze. I was in shock. I didn't know what to do. At that moment, I just wanted to die. We had other friends there, like I said, and no one came to the room. I don't know if anybody else knew. I don't know what. And the sad thing is, his girlfriend at the time was also there, and she was one of my friends. And it seemed like it lasted forever. And I just wanted it to all stop. I just wanted it to just go. I just wanted to be out somewhere else. My mind was just gone. Well, a few hours later, my dad came pounding on the door with my cousin, and I just heard my dad's voice. And my friend was still on top of me. And as soon as he heard my dad's voice, he just hurried up and got dressed and just left me in the room. So, well, everything happened, whatever. My dad came in and started yelling at me. I came to the door, whatever. And my cousin came. And that was it. I was just on her way home, and he was just yelling at me from then on. And I got to my house, and my mom was there, so my mom started yelling at me. Of course, like any parent would. They're just going to yell at their kid because their kid wasn't listening. So as soon as I got home, I went straight to the shower. I just took a shower, and I scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed so hard where I started bleeding. remember I didn't want to get out of that shower. I felt so dirty. I felt violated. I was so hurt. I was so upset. I was lost. And at that moment, I was alone. That same night, I called my friend, which was his girlfriend at the time. And I told her what happened. And she basically just called me a liar. She didn't believe me. She didn't do anything. And that night, he was right. He told me no one would believe me. I only told one person that night, and that was her. And he was right. She didn't believe me. And I was just so lost. And the next morning when I woke up, I had multiple bruises on my body. I had cuts on my body, and I was hurting it. My stomach was hurting very bad. I had bruises around my neck. I had bruises on my wrists and on my arms. And I had bruises on my thighs. I didn't know what to do that night. The next day, my whole entire world just came shattering down that night. Throughout the years of my teens, my whole body attitude just changed. I was not the same person. I wasn't that happy person that everybody knew I was. I was not me. And I struggled throughout the years after that. I had addictions. I became an alcoholic. I became a drug addict. I started off with small stuff. I did anything you can think of. I even started doing heroin. And I became a cutter, which I used to self-harm myself. And until one day my sister caught me, and she told my parents. And of course my parents didn't understand what was going on. My parents didn't know why I was doing it, because I didn't talk to my parents about it. I didn't tell them anything. So after a while, my parents ended up forcing me to go to therapy. And I hated it. I resented my parents for it. Because like anybody at that age, no one knows best but yourself. And they tried everything to give me help. They did. And by all means, me and one of my sisters, we had a good life. My parents took care of us. We had everything that we needed. We got everything that we wanted. But everything changed the night of my rape. So throughout the years, I was just, like I said, I was in and out of places. I was constantly fighting with everybody. I was basically pushing everyone away, and no one knew why. And it was hard. I'm not saying it was easy, and it was hard. Because I was alone. My world shattered because of that one night. He took my whole life away. He took what it meant to be a human being away. I was virgin that night, and he took that away from me. A few years later down the road, I told my mom. I didn't tell my parents together. I told my mom. And I'll never forget that night. I was in the kitchen when I told her. And her face when I told her just broke my heart. Because that was the thing that she never wanted to happen to her daughters, any of us. Because she was always trying to protect us from everything. Just recently, I had told my dad. And he also broke down. He didn't know what to say. They had the same reaction. And they both, the reactions, they just hugged me. It's 20 years later, and I struggle every day with everyday things. Everyday life, I struggle. I have new phobias. I am claustrophobic. I don't like being in small, tight areas with no window, no way out. I can't be in closed doors with just a person, just a man. It scares the living shit out of me. I don't like people standing behind me. I don't like people grabbing me a certain way. Certain smells are triggers for me. And if I hear a voice that's familiar, that sounds like him, it's a trigger. I get really bad panic attacks. Sometimes to the point where my whole entire body makes me drop and might get muscle spasms. If it wasn't the support of my wife now and my family, I wouldn't be where I am at now. Don't get me wrong, it still hurts. It hurts a lot still. Every day, it's pain that's never gonna go away. But it's my new way of life now. My new phobias is part of my life now. Could I do without them? Of course I could. But I can't make them go away anymore. I just have to work a way around it. If it wasn't for certain things happening in my life now, I don't think I would be able to do this. I don't think I would be able to keep going on with life. I'm no longer a victim. I'm a survivor and I'm a fighter. Because of the people that I have in my life now. I now understand I have something to look forward to every single day of my life. Because I don't let that get to me anymore. But like I said, it's never going to go away. I'm still going to have that pain. I wish I could take back those 20 years and I wish I would have said something then, but I didn't. Because I was that scared little girl that was terrified. And now I'm an adult, and now this is me saying that I am no longer a victim. I'm my survivor. And I have the courage now to make this video, and I'm trying to make it go viral. I just want to let people know that no one's alone. If you know anybody, or even if it's you, that have been sexually assaulted, by all means, there's so much things out there. There's help. There's wherever you're at, there's always a rape crisis center somewhere. There's always something. It does help to talk to someone, but it's when you're ready, not when someone else is telling you to be. I just want to let everybody know, if you're still listening to this video and you're still watching, that by all means, if you know me and you see me, I'm up for questions. I'm up to talking about anything. About any of my problems that I have. About my assault. About me doing self-harm to myself. Anything. And please help me make this video go viral. Please help me share this video.